perhaps the most iconic block since King James' chase down of Andre Iguodala in Game 7 of the 2016 Finals. The block had guys from around the league really impressed. Damian Lillard tweeting that block by Giannis might have won them the game. Andre Iguodala tweeted that Giannis's block was absolutely crazy. At King James asks, no one would know him better. Max, better block, LeBron or Giannis?
The answer is Giannis. LeBron's was a higher leverage moment. Well, a minute left in the greatest game ever played. You know, like for the stakes couldn't have been higher. And he played 40 minutes and he chased down the length of the court block. And it was unbelievable. And by the way, Golden State didn't score at the end of that game. And that block is one of the reasons, right? So the stakes couldn't have been higher. And it was a degree of difficulty in terms of all that stuff couldn't have been higher. But the level of skill it took was not the same thing as we saw from Giannis last night. Giannis prevented penetration from Booker on the one hand, and then had to recover and get his eyes to his man and elevate to pin the shot. He blocked, he played defense on Devin Booker and Deandre Ayton on the same play, didn't foul and prevented the score. In terms of degree, I won't say difficulty, Stephen A., I'll say the skill it took. That was the even better block.
To me, it was LeBron. It was Game 7 of the NBA Finals. The championship was on the line. And, you know, for him to come flying in the way that he did, you know, with his head at the rim, with, you know, blocking the ball with one hand, touching the rim with the other. I mean, it was just a spectacular, spectacular block on the part of LeBron. Look at this right here. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, again, Giannis's was harder. It took more skill, but that LeBron block was so beautiful and the timing was even more apropos that I just have to say that, you know, Game 7 of
Stakes
an NBA
were higher.
Final,
A minute left.
I mean, that's how I got it.
Against the winningest team of all time on the road, fourth quarter.
Yes.
I can't argue against that. It's the when you say what's the biggest play in basketball history, the biggest play in basketball history, that's on a short list. LeBron.
That's on a short list. Jordan with the J over Byron Russell in Utah. That would definitely be there. We get all of that. But this right here, yeah.
Let me go back to a topic we wanted to get to earlier, and that's Chris Paul. We don't know if he's dealing with some health issues, lingering from COVID or injuries, but he hasn't been himself. Stephen A., a lot is on the line for him, obviously, in terms of what he wants to prove he can do in the postseason. What does he need to do so people aren't using words like choke, which have been thrown around?
There's no way he's choking. We can't accuse him of that. What happened, because that means that you're subjected to the same conditions you've always been subjected to, and you just ain't delivering the way that you did because the moment is too much for you. We've seen what he's done in the conference finals. We've seen what he did in Game 1 and 2, Game 1 and 2, Game 1 more so than Game 2 of this NBA Finals. Here's the difference. Budenholzer looked at Chris Paul and said, excuse me, I've got a guy that's younger, that's bigger, that's more athletic, that's stronger, who doesn't have 36-year-old legs on 16 years of traction on his body. Pick him up 75 to 90 feet away from the basket and make him work for every little thing he gets. And what has happened is that Chris Paul is being subjected to a level of just exposure in terms of his own conditioning and what have you. You combine that with the shoulder injury, his inability to hold on to the ball at times, 15 turnovers in the last 3 games. There have been times in Chris Paul's career where he hasn't had 15 turnovers in 5 games, 6 games. This dude is elite. And so to see him at this level, I think it's the combination of health. I don't think he's 100% healthy. I think it's attrition, but we don't want to take credit away from Budenholzer's game planning and Jrue Holiday's efforts. In the end, it doesn't matter. Chris Paul has to summon something up.
Yeah.
This is for all Lamar. This is what he's worked for his entire
career. He'll never have a better chance. He'll never have a better opportunity because injury to other teams is the reason both teams are this far. Let's give Jrue Holiday credit.
Yeah.
Jrue Holiday is as good as you can do on a smaller point guard defensively. Ask Damian Lillard. And I know Lillard bristles because it was a game plan, but also when Jrue Holiday was on him, Damian Lillard, CP3, if you're a smaller guard, you can't do better defensively than Jrue Holiday does on him. And also COVID, I believe there are lingering effects here. That said, the losing team, you can always reach for excuses. Whether or not they're legitimate, they are excuses. And right now, there are no excuses. May the best team win. If Chris Paul doesn't come through, that will be remembered. That's why he's got to dig deep.
It'll be remembered, but listen, if he does his job and Devin Booker does his job and they still lose, it won't be as bad. If he continues to look this way, it will be bad.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.